Today we welcome Mabrey Mettauer to the Hangtime Headlines podcast. Mabrey is a top quarterback prospect in the class of 2024 from Woodlands, Texas. He's listed at 6'5", 215 with offers from some big-time programs such as LSU, Texas Tech, and Kansas State. We also got Jack here. How you doing, bro?
What's up?
Mabrey, how you doing?
Good, how are y'all?
Doing well. Thank you for joining us. Hangtime Headlines, as always, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Spotify, rate, review, and Apple Podcasts.
Check the stats, dog. I can see the future with my mask off. Hang time, I'm a blast off.
Let's jump right into it. Mabrey, it's clear you're a highly touted prospect. We've seen many websites listing you as the top quarterback in the 2024 class. So can you take us back to the beginning? Who or what really, got you into football? You have any parents or coaches that really drove that football instinct in you?
So I have a long line of football players in my family. Both of my grandpas played at A&M. My uncle played in the NFL, and my other uncle played at A&M. So they definitely helped me and persuaded me to play football. So I started in second grade, and I was a running back / quarterback. But then at my Pop Warner League or whatever, I was too heavy, so I had to play O-line until all the way until I got to 7th grade, and then I was a receiver for 7th grade, and then 8th grade is when I started playing quarterback. But it wasn't really being quarterback; it was literally I just ran the ball. But I would say my 9th grade year was really when I was a quarterback, throwing the ball, all that good type of stuff.
So you didn't even really become a quarterback until you were in high school. That's when you really decided this is the position you were going to roll with?
So I always wanted to be one. I was always too heavy because I would say I'm a bigger dude. And so I was always taller and I carried more weight on me. But yeah.
So you think that's the position for you for good?
Yeah, I always thought that. I like to be in control of the team. I like to be the leader. I like to have the ball in my hands in every play, stuff like that.
Yeah, it sounds like you were just an athlete all around. We were doing some research, too. We saw the highlights. You can definitely sling it. And unless I'm wrong, you got a brother who's playing college football at Cal as well, right?
Yes, he plays at Cal. He started as a freshman there. And then I also play basketball.
Damn, so also some basketball. Big football family, though. So take us back a little to youth, playing a bunch of different, positions. You have any good memories from, that 2nd, 3rd grade, 4th grade football early on?
So I was a guard and a tight end and stuff like that on the offense. And I remember I pulled and then I literally just blew this kid up. It was bad. And then I caught a touchdown as a tight end. That was pretty cool because you barely get the ball thrown to you in Little League when you're a tight end.
So clearly with this big football family and all these different positions as a kid, when did you start to realize that, wow, I could actually start playing at the next level and I can actually make a difference in this sport? When did that kind of hit you?
So, when I was young, I knew I would play because it was my goal. I write my goals on my mirror, and so every time I finish a goal, I scratch it off, write new ones. But, I've always had, a feeling I could do it, because I have the drive to do it, and that's really all you need. And I got gifted with my height and my body, my figure. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, bro, you're crazy big. We were looking at it, 6'5", only a rising sophomore. That's pretty nuts. So were you always that big at a young age? Can you take me back a little bit to middle school? Maybe it's Pop Warner. We've had a bunch of prospects on, and they've given us a bunch of different answers. Talk about your size and how that played a role in you playing football around that age.
So I was always, the tallest, the biggest in the league. So I was actually just talking to one of my quarterback coaches. So in 6th grade, I was about 5'9", 5'10", 5'11", and then that 6th grade, summer going into 7th, I hit 6 foot. And then in 7th grade, I hit 6'3". 7th grade, I hit 6'3". Then 8th grade, I hit 6'4". And then my 9th grade year, I hit 6'5". And then I'm 6'5" and a half right now.
Obviously with that huge frame, you were telling us how you would run the ball a lot in Pop Warner and younger age football. Do you have a 40 time yet that you are either aiming to hit, or do you have one that you have recorded, or what are your 40s looking like?
So I don't really run those right now because I haven't trained for that because I've been mainly training on my mechanics and stuff like that. But I would say it's about a 4.7.
Okay.
That's still pretty fast. So 6'5" and a half, 215's accurate. We saw that in the Insta bio, I believe.
Yep.
Damn, bro, big kid. So, you have any really like memorable games from middle school that you want to reflect on?
Not really towards middle school. So in my 9th grade year, which was last year, I was on varsity, and the first time I ever threw a pass in a game was a 55-yard ball in the air for a touchdown on a go route.
That's pretty sweet.
Most memorable.
How far can you throw a football right now? If you're throwing it that far in your first game in your high school career, how far can you sling the rock right now?
About 70, a little more than 70, I would say.
That's crazy. Coming out of the Woodlands, there are a couple players that came from the high school. I believe you're at the Woodlands High School. Have you established any relationship with Antoine Winfield, Danny Amendola? Have you talked to them? Have you tried to look up to them in any way, shape, or form yet? Or has anything really happened there?
So I haven't talked to Danny, but I've definitely talked to Antoine because his brother. I haven't talked to him in a while because I haven't seen him or whatever. But like his brother's on the same team as me, and so I talked to him about that stuff. And it's cool having like his brother on my team.
Yeah, it's cool that you're establishing that relationship. So with his brother, do you what position does his brother play?
He plays DB like him.
That's awesome. That's cool.
I mean, that's another football family right there.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. So a whole nother side to football is not only on the field, but off the field. And being that you just moved to quarterback, when did you really start training, in the gym for football and weightlifting?
When COVID hit, that's what helped me the best. But weightlifting, I started probably in the 7th grade summer.
7th grade summer. How much you lift now? What are some of your favorite exercises? We've heard a lot of bench, squat, deadlift. What are you hitting in the gym?
Right now?
Yeah, what are your maxes at? Exactly.
So my bench is 250. My squat is 340. My power clean's 235. That's all I know right now.
That's wicked impressive. Do you have a favorite exercise? Something you love to hit when you go to the gym?
I mean, I love to hit arms, but I'm kind of done with that because I need to be able to throw. So I like hitting legs a little more now.
That's fact. I feel like every single guy loves hitting the arms.
No, yeah, but since I need to throw the ball, I started to fade away from that because I would have to go lift and then throw, and that's just too hard. My arms feel like jello after that.
A lot of the athletes we've talked to, a big question with them is, dude, you're a big time prospect. You got the gym, you got on the field. What keeps you motivated? What keeps you going?
What keeps me going is I want to play in the NFL. I want that to be my job when I'm older. So I don't know, just always trying to reach the next level is what I'm trying to say.
A big thing that guys that have their goals set on the NFL, a lot of work comes in the film room. So what are the things that you look for in film? When you sit down and watch film, are you looking for ways to better yourself, or are you more looking at opponents' game plans in the way that defensive backs you're going to be going against, how they play? What is your go-tos for watching film?
I do both. So I see what I can do better, slow-mo my mechanics, stuff like that. And then with my quarterback coach, we do film sessions, which is we just going over the different types of defenses, and I draw them out and stuff like that. But during the season at school, we'll watch the opponent team every day, and then try to get a feel of what the DB can do during a game.
When COVID hit, it obviously impacted that season for you in 8th grade, I believe. What did you do to stay active? What did you do to stay involved and stay at the top of your game during a time like that?
So I had my brother with me, the one that plays at Cal, and so he was my receiver because I couldn't get around anybody. So my quarterback coach would come with me to a field every day, 5 days out of the week, and then we would go throw, and my brother would be my receiver. And then we bought a weightlifting set for our garage so we could get weights in.
You seem like there's a ton going on. How do you balance everything? What are some of the ways that you balance? Because obviously the thing that colleges look for. How do you balance football, academics, and everything else going on in your life?
So school is before football because if you can't do school, then how are you going to play football? You got to be smart, and you want a smart quarterback to lead your team. You don't want some dumb kid trying to lead your team.
Absolutely.
And my dad, makes me make good grades because he's a heart surgeon, so he's, always trying to make me have all A's.
Love that. Love that.
A heart surgeon, he's not going to let it fly. Your parents cook for you? What are you eating, You got to train, you got to go to school, but a big part of, being the athlete that you are is what you put into your body. What are some of your favorite meals?
like steak and sushi. Those are my favorite. But like, I like eggs in the morning, bacon, breakfast tacos, like a lot of protein and vegetables and fruit.
So one of the more interesting things now that you're starting to get into is a college recruitment process. That's got to be incredibly exciting and ever evolving every single day. So what has that process been like for you? Like your first offer, how you got into it? Like how has it been for you just starting into that college recruitment process? Seeing your brother's already there, how has this experience been for you?
I mean, it's really been unbelievable because I didn't know it was going to start this soon, but I'm very thankful. But when I got my first offer, it was from Georgia Tech, and in February, as a freshman, and then we were on a call with like my coach. We three-wayed the call and we talked to him, and then I got offered. And obviously, your first offer is like really special to you because that school has a lot of faith in you.
Yeah, we've heard that a lot, that first offer is really special. So how many offers you up to online? We've seen, LSU, I believe, but we've seen a lot of stuff online. So we want to hear it firsthand from you. Where are the offers at, and what are your thoughts on those?
So I have 5 right now. I have Georgia Tech, ULM, Kansas State, LSU and Texas Tech. Texas Tech is my most recent one. But I try to keep in contact with those coaches about every week. And now I'm focusing on the season.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you got to stay focused on the season, and we know the rules with college where you got to reach out to the coaches. They can't be reaching out to you. We've talked with a lot of prospects, and because of COVID, some of the things that Jack mentioned, they were actually recruited by just their film. So in terms of that part of the recruitment process for you, was it on film? Did they come and maybe see you at a game? How did that go down?
So it started off with 7-on-7. That's how it started. Because, I would make highlight clips of, the tournament and stuff like that. And that's how I got my first offers from Georgia Tech, was from that. But then these other schools, I guess, they saw my Elite 11 film, my Under Armour All-American film, and then they also saw my game film. So that's what also helped them.
So a lot of these schools are relatively southern. They're kind of close to Texas. I mean, we hear with your family going to A&M, but then also with your brother going to California. Is that something you're interested in, staying relatively close to home? Is that something that's interested to you, or are you kind of just trying to see where you could play and make the decision down the road?
I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to go where I'm wanting the most, where the coach is, where I fit in the best, which is going to better me, what I can learn more. But I'm just going to pray about it. Everything's in God's plan, so.
Love that. Another thing that is coming up in the college recruitment process is the ever-changing NIL rules. Is that something that you're looking forward to? Is that something that's on your mind, or are you more worried about the football and then going to worry about that afterwards? How does the NIL law changing, does that play into your recruitment process at all?
What's the NIL?
Bro, everyone's a barstool athlete now, so you're making bands.
Yeah, you're going to be able to make money. You're starting to be a college athlete at the right time. Is that something that's on your radar? Is that something you're looking at right now, or are you trying to stick with...
I would love for that to happen for me, but obviously I'm going to focus on football more than, trying to get money, because the money's going to come when if I get to the NFL.
Absolutely.
So, playing college ball and getting paid is awesome, because, it's literally a job, and you're doing school at the same time. So.
That's got to be a pretty cool feeling coming up then, huh?
And, we're on board. We want all the college kids paid. You guys work really hard. You mentioned a couple camps there, an Under Armour one, I believe. Can you talk a little bit about that? How big a role did they play for you?
So I got invited to that probably back in March, February. I don't really know. But that was, a good experience to see, what other, athletes are out there, what other kids that I need to compete with in my grade. But it's always cool to have, other, you get to meet people. I met a few kids from around the state, around the country, so it's cool seeing that.
So have you met any cool coaches at those? Have you established any relationships with coaches at the next level that can maybe keep working with you and get you to that next stage that you want to get to?
I kind of have a relationship with some coach from the Elite 11. I don't really know his name, though.
Okay.
And you talked about, the players and meeting some good players. Can you talk a little bit about that competition? What was it like going up against the best? Do you play against any other big names right now, or potentially a player who is at the college level?
I haven't yet, but actually, I played Connor Wegman in the Bridgeland in 7-on-7, and we beat them. But it's always fun to have another good quarterbacks around you, because it makes you want to work harder.
100%. What's your favorite campus? Have you visited any campuses yet? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't really have a favorite right now. I'm still thinking about it. because it's like so early. I haven't really got to have a feel for it because I don't know. I've just been like touring around stadiums and stuff like that. I haven't really been around campuses like the school-wise, like academics.
In this recruitment process, is there any specific area you got your mind on? I know we already talked about geographical locations. Is Power 5 a goal for you? Is SEC a goal for you? Is there something you have your eyes on? Again, like you said, the two connections to A&M and Cali. Are those two schools you have your eyes on? Have you been talking to coaches over there? Basically, is a Power 5 school your goal, and which Power 5 conference would you like to be going to?
Power 5 school is definitely my goal. I mean, I don't really care what conference it is because, like I said, it's all God's plan where He wants to put me and where I'm gonna play first. So
you bring up God a lot. Is religion, does that play a big part into your game? Does that it obviously impacts your life? Do you think it impacts you on the field as well? Is there anything you'd like to say about that?
Definitely, for sure. Like, I'll pray with my team before the game, stuff like that. Religion's a big deal in my life and my family. Like, I've been born to know Jesus Christ and know that He's my Savior, stuff like that.
Yeah, I got you. And, we'll try and move through this college recruiting process. We're not trying to pry out all the hard questions here. We just want to get a feel about what you're thinking. And a big part of the process is, your family and your friends. There's a lot of other people helping you in this process. So can you talk a little bit about what, influence they've been for you?
So my mom is definitely like my mentor. Like, she helps me a lot. She comes with me everywhere I go. So, like, if I don't retain the information or, like, absorb it, then she's right there absorbing it with me. So she helps a lot. And my brother helps. And my dad.
It's good to hear. You got the whole family. I mean, we hear football and family linked together all the time. And for us personally, we're in college now, so we've been through high school, but we were not top football prospects. Just not at all. So do you feel that, you have any spotlight or added pressure on you just being the athlete that you are, and how do you handle that?
I definitely feel like there's added pressure on you, but, like, I don't really care about the spotlight stuff. Like, it's not like that. But, like, everyone's, like, if I do bad, like, I threw a pick, everyone's going to be on my ass, Like, everyone's going to be like, oh, he's bad, stuff like that. But you can't listen to that. That's just outside information,
Yeah, that's facts. I mean, you don't want to let anyone get in your head like that. It's all about you. We've talked a lot about, handling football, academics, some film, some training. But, dude, you're a normal high school kid. Like, what about just seeing your friends? Maybe you go out to a party, you got a girlfriend. Like, can you talk about that side of high school? You're like a high school kid. Well, like, what's going on?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I go to parties, but I don't do the stuff the other kids do. I set myself on a different standard because I don't want that image on me, if you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Love to hear that.
And, I mean, as a quarterback, you want to represent your team, but exactly, to have that clean image, that's what we want to see. We've talked, a lot of positives, but everyone goes through struggles. You feel like you got any tough moments in your football career that you wouldn't mind sharing with us? And how did you overcome these obstacles?
So I've had a few tough moments because it's been pretty hard. I mean, it was hard starting off as a quarterback really late because I've had to, like, get out of bad habits from, like, baseball and stuff like that. Just, like, my throwing motion, I had to fix that up, my footwork. But just stuff like that. And, like, a few, like, probably about, like, 5-6 months ago, I had a little problem with my ball not spinning really fast, and that really irritated me, but I fixed that up now, so.
Has there been any injury slowdowns in the past? Obviously, right now we'll hope that you're 100%. But has there ever been anything to set you back? And what was a rehab like for you? How did you get back from that?
Not really. Praise the Lord.
Awesome.
That's good to hear. Football is a contact sport. Even if you're not injured, you're going to catch these nicks and bruises, but it's all about how you recover.
Have you ever been smacked really, really hard where you kind of got up off the ground like, oh my God, where did that come from? And as a quarterback, there's two different ways of playing it. Are you a slide or head first kind of guy? Obviously, that's the two crazies of it on both sides. But do you tend to avoid the contact, or do you tend to go all out and make that contact?
So, I'm gonna slide this year. I mean, I didn't slide too much last year, but I'm definitely gonna try to save my body for longevity.
For sure.
But I like some contact, but, like, I'm not going to go head on with the middle linebacker. Like, that's just dumb. Like,
absolutely.
I mean, if I get hit hard, I'll get my ass back up and I'll play the next play. But, I mean, I'm tough.
I mean, that's facts, too, and you're not just a quarterback who's been like, oh, I'm going to be in the pocket my entire career. Like, you've been playing at all sorts of different positions. You mentioned it, offensive line, running back. You've taken your fair share of hits, already, and the NFL, there's a lot of NFL players that take, those same hits. Do you have any NFL players that you maybe model your game afterwards?
Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. I do a lot of Patrick Mahomes sidearm throws, and then I try to work off Tom Brady's throw motion a little bit.
So are those your two favorite players, you think?
Yeah, for sure. On the bandwagon, I just love the way they play. Like, I just love how Tom Brady, like, he's old, but, like, he can still play like he's 20. And
Yeah, you were talking about longevity for sure, so.
Literally throws no-lookers, sidearms, like, stuff like that's just really cool.
You play football, obviously, a lot. We got to ask, do you play any Madden? Do you play video game football? Does that help your game a little bit? And obviously with NCAA football coming out in the next couple of years, is that something you're excited for too? Maybe to even see yourself in that game?
So, yeah, I'm for sure going to get that game, but I don't play video games too much just because, like, I feel like I don't want to, like, I don't have a lot of time through my day because, like, I'm usually in the gym or on the field. So, I mean, sometimes I'll play Madden Mobile on my phone, but I don't really get on the Xbox. I feel like that sometimes it's just a waste of time for me, I'd rather be resting my body instead of, like, sitting in an Xbox chair, like, staring at a screen.
So you knew this one was coming. The long hair. Obviously, we've seen in the last couple of years, not only in media, but also in the real game of football, that's really starting to turn into this big personality trait for quarterbacks. As myself, who used to have long hair too, I love it. I love the look. But is that something? Does that play into your on-field personality at all? Is that something that you plan to keep for a couple of years? And is that something that it creates this image? Is that an image that you want to keep forward on a football field?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely, like, giving me an image, but, like, I've had it since I was a little kid. Like, I'm not doing it because of Trevor Lawrence. I've had my hair since I was a little baby, and I won't cut my hair.
I love it. I was the same way, dude. I absolutely love it.
Like, just because I didn't call me Trevor Lawrence. Like, I literally have a picture I can send y'all when I was a kid playing football with long hair when I was, like, 5.
Exactly. You're not Trevor. You're Mabrey. I love it.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll clip that photo right in so everybody can see. And I mean, it's not like you're styling your hair in the mirror. We know, you're writing your goals on that mirror. You can't be seeing it. Like, we heard that already. You're not spending your time in the bathroom. But we've talked a lot about football. What are some of your off-the-field interests, when you're not playing football? We've heard you play a lot of other sports, but maybe, something that most people wouldn't think about. What are you doing? You got any hobbies, anything unique?
I mean, I like to hunt and fish, but I don't have a lot of time for that. But I also like to hang out with my friends, like throw the ball around. I like to swim, and I like to wakeboard. Wakeboard's fun. I like wake surfing, stuff like that. But I definitely like to hunt and fish. I just don't have a lot of time to go hunting. I fish sometimes at my ranch, but
Yeah, we love to see that. You got your off-the-field priorities straightened out. Speaking of that, do you listen to any music? You got any interest there? You country, rap, a favorite genre? What are you listening to?
I like rap and country, like a little bit of both. But so before a game, I'll listen to some rap music, get hyped, and then I'll pray. I'll listen to music in the locker room right before, but right before we get out, I'll pray.
Of course. And what are some of your favorite artists? I mean, we're tuned in as well. Shout them out real quick.
I like Lil Uzi Vert, Drake, Lil Baby.
Everyone we have on loves Lil Baby. Lil Baby is so popular, bro. He's balling, right?
Very popular on this podcast.
He's good.
Love it.
I also like Post Malone.
Absolutely.
In his music.
So before we wrap this up, I'm just going to ask, because you're obviously in a great position right now. Your future looks incredible, and after what we just heard, it sounds great. Everything sounds great. If you could go into the future and talk to yourself 5 years down the road when you get to where you're trying to be, is there anything that you, as your younger self, would tell your older self instead of reverse? If you could speak to your future self in 5 years, what is something you would tell them?
So, me speaking to my future self?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
I'll probably say, don't let people get to your head. Probably that, to be honest. Don't let the fame get to you.
And then other way around, would you say anything to yourself right now? Is there anything that you would want to be told to yourself right now?
Work hard so you can retire earlier in life.
Love that. We're all working towards the retirement. I love it, my man.
Exactly.
Mabrey, that about wraps it up on our end. Thank you so much for joining us, bro. It's been an absolute pleasure. You got anything else you want to add real quick before we wrap this up?
I think that's it.
All right, we look forward to seeing you on the field in the next couple of years, my man. This was a lot of fun, and yeah, we're wishing you the best.
Having me on here.
Of course.
Of course. Hangtime headlines, as always, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Spotify. Check out the YouTube, Apple Podcasts as well. Mabrey, have a good one, bro. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ballin' crazy with the hang time.